All right, let's get right into it. We have all seen AI's creative side just explode recently. But how did it go from making these bizarre, kind of random images to being a tool that can actually help us tell a real, coherent story? Well, that journey is pretty incredible.
I'm sure you remember these, right? Back in 2023, our feeds were just flooded with these hyper-realistic but totally fake images. You had the Pope in this wild designer jacket, or that shot of Donald Trump supposedly being arrested. They were shocking, they were funny, and they proved one thing for sure. AI could create a single powerful moment.
But that brings up the real question, doesn't it? A single stunning image. That's one thing. But what about a sequence? You know, a real narrative. Could AI actually keep a character, a style, and a world consistent from one shot to the next? That is the huge leap from being a cool party trick to becoming a genuine storytelling tool.
So, to figure this out, a team of researchers decided to launch this incredibly ambitious experiment. They really wanted to see if they could push these early AI tools to their absolute breaking point and create an entire TV pilot from scratch. And this wasn't just some casual weekend project. We're talking about a serious, high-level collaboration between a major university, the Polytechnic University of Turin, and RAI, which is Italy's national public broadcaster. So you had top engineering minds working directly with media professionals to tackle this exact problem.
And their goal was crystal clear. They wanted to create a modern sci-fi take on the classic story around the world in 80 days. And the plan was to use AI for the whole shebang, writing the script, designing the characters, and even generating the final animation. But almost immediately, this awesome creative dream ran smack into a giant technological wall. It was a problem so fundamental that it threatened to completely derail the entire project. Let's call it what it was: the consistency crisis.
So here's the problem in a nutshell. Those early generative AI tools, they all worked in their own little bubble. Imagine hiring a dozen absolutely brilliant artists to work on your movie, but with one catch. They're not allowed to talk to each other or even see what the others are drawing. You'll get beautiful work for sure, but the result is total chaos.
And this is what that chaos looked like in practice. Their main character, an android version of Phileas Fogg, looked completely different from one frame to the next. They'd use the exact same detailed prompt in the animation tool Runway, and every single time it would spit out a new interpretation. Without consistency, you don't have a character, you just have a bunch of random pictures. Storytelling was basically impossible. So, the team had to invent this ridiculously complicated manual workaround. They couldn't get the AI to be consistent. So instead, they had to build a 3D model of their character from scratch, then generate backgrounds in a different AI tool, pose their model in another program, and then painstakingly stitch it all together in Photoshop. I mean, it worked, but it completely defeated the purpose of a fast, streamlined AI workflow. But here's the cool part. As these researchers were wrestling with this massive problem, the technology itself was already moving on. A whole new generation of AI tools started to pop up, and they were designed specifically to solve this exact consistency crisis. One of the tools that's really leading this new wave is called Katalist. I love this quote from a review by the tech blog Loud Egg, which called it a tool that actually gets creatives, mainly because it was built from the ground up by listening to what storytellers actually needed.
So what makes it so different? Well, it directly solves all the problems that research team ran into. It offers automatic consistency for your characters, your scenes, and your overall style. You can just feed it a script and get a storyboard. And it gives the creator intuitive controls over things like camera angles and poses, basically putting them back in the director's chair.
And hey, this isn't just marketing fluff. YouTuber and AI filmmaker Hayden Rushworth put it to a serious test. He gave Katalist 4 totally different elements, a background, a dragon, and 2 separate characters, and asked it to merge them into one coherent scene. His verdict says it all. The results were, in his words, really, really impressive, and the accuracy was incredible.
So when you put it side by side, the comparison is just stark. The old way, the one that Research Project had to figure out, was this fragmented mess of jumping between different programs. The new way, with tools like Katalist, is one single streamlined pipeline that takes you straight from your script to a consistent storyboard. The jump in efficiency is just massive. And this all brings us to a really important shift in thinking. AI in the creative world is moving past being just a fun toy that generates weird images. It's actually growing up and maturing into a legitimate creative partner.
This whole journey we followed, from that university project's frustrations to the elegant solution that a tool like Katalist offers, it shows us exactly where all this is headed. AI tools are becoming way more specialized. They're being designed not to replace the artist, but to collaborate with them, to automate all the tedious stuff so that creators can just focus on the story.
And the impact is something you can actually measure. According to Katalist, this kind of unified workflow can speed up the whole pre-production process by up to 4 times. We're talking about getting a project off the ground in a matter of days instead of weeks. That's a game changer.
You see, the ambition has totally changed. The technology is no longer just focused on making a single, impressive picture. The new goal is to give storytellers the power to build entire, consistent worlds with just a few prompts.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. That huge technological barrier, consistency, it's crumbling. The tools are getting smarter, they're more intuitive, and they're more collaborative than ever. So the only question left is, what story are you going to tell?